Hey guys, in this Mail Week Super Haul video, I will share with you over $11,500 worth of my recent pickups, most of which have to do with the upcoming NFL year, including 8 identical rookie cards of one incredible player that I expect to see back in the Super Bowl in February of 2022. So with that being said, welcome back. Now let's get to work. Let's start with the low end stuff, and this is going to be by far the most random low end thing you will see here today. And these are packs of Kazam trading cards. And if you don't know what Kazam is, it was actually a movie from the mid 90s where Shaquille O'Neal played a genie. And I remember going with my mom back in Tampa to watch this movie, and it was like the best horrible movie in the world. And I just recently looked it up online, and it has like a 5% Rotten Tomatoes score. And then someone even mentioned it being the worst movie ever. Like asked Google, is it the worst movie ever? And I'm gonna open a pack right now just because I don't even know what's inside. But the only reason I got it is because this movie triggers a childhood memory of mine. So this is like, you know, going to see a movie in the mid 90s with my mom was a big deal. So, you know, it's not like every PC card has got to be expensive. A lot of times it could just be really cheap. I mean, look at the super 90s right there. Look at that, Shaquille O'Neal as a genie riding like one of those BMX bikes, which looks like a little tricycle compared to him. See, to me, I'm happy looking at this just because he was my favorite player. He played for the Magic, which was my team. This was when I was old enough to really appreciate him as really a role model or a hero. There's the promo card of the movie right there. I mean, but you see Shaq's personality come out. Look at that. Like, that is Shaquille O'Neal. That's the same Shaq we know today. And this was his first big on-screen appearance. Horrible movie, but if you're a Shaq fan, definitely worth watching. At least if you're like 7 years old and a Shaq fan. All right, moving on to something way better to watch on TV back in the 90s, and that was The Simpsons. And look, these are just, again, PC cards. These were $6 each, $12 total. And I just love looking at this card. This is Homer Simpson laying on the couch. Brings back so many memories to me as a kid. And I actually have a few of these cards over at PSA as well. And I wouldn't mind a few for myself. Maybe it's a decent investment, but again, PC cards can be $1, can be $3, can be $5. There is no rule. You do not have to get a $5,000 card for your personal collection. You can collect whatever you want. And these 90s cards of shows that I loved as a kid, you know, means more to me than a $3,000 card. Now let's move on to some investments, and this one's going to be a bit random, but this was a great value. And the lesson behind this one is value. And these are 2 Victor Oladipo Prism PSA 10 rookie cards. Obviously, he had another injury-ridden season, but he is a free agent. And for $70 a piece for these cards, for PSA 10s, of a lower pop card of a 2013 rookie who can join a playoff contender next year and maybe make a splash, or at least there's hype around it. For $70 each, I think that is a great value buy right there. You know, I doubt a player of his caliber, even with all the injuries, is going to go down from $70 for a PSA 10. Moving on to the next stack, and now we're getting into a bit higher end investments, just a bit. And we have a couple of Russell Wilson rookie cards. And I like Russell Wilson because he always seems to fly under the radar, even though he's won a Super Bowl. He has DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion. And he's a likable dude. He has a celebrity wife. Everything's going in his favor. This is just on the team bag right here. But and the grades are solid. This is an interesting grade though. I will say this. There are 3 10s and an 8.5. And I don't know if that's worth cracking and resubmitting. So let me know, because I'll have another card with a couple subgrades that I don't know how to interpret in terms of cracking and submitting to PSA. But I will say that sometimes the BGS 9.5s are selling for the same price as PSA 9s, and yet they have a chance of being PSA 10s, or they just look undervalued to me. So these were $235 a piece. I thought that was a good price, and I don't have to make a fortune on them. I just need to be able to feel confident about the downside being a lot lower than the upside. Speaking of which, here is a Russell Wilson Prism rookie card. Now here's the interesting thing. I have 5 or 6 of these in a PSA 10, and when I saw this auction go up, I was thinking, I wonder what the price would go for, because this is actually a PSA 8. And I know PSA 8s are not valuable or desirable for modern cards, because they should all be coming out of the packs, probably 9s and maybe sometimes 8s, but they should be coming out of the packs quite good. And I don't know, I mean, looking at the card, obviously they're looking at it under a microscope and all that, but I could definitely see a PSA 9 just from the looks of it. But the point of it is this was $178, and I was wondering, well, if the PSA 10s had hit about $3,000 last year and the PSA 9s hit $800, $900, if I got this for $178, could I flip this to $250 or $275? It doesn't have to be a huge margin, but this is one of those buy the card, not the grade type of, the logic behind it is buy the card, not the grade. I wanted to experiment with it though. I wanted just to see, like, will this be valuable enough based on where the 10s and 9s go to get $250, maybe $300 from it. Next card right here, and this is the only card I bought when I was in the Dallas card show. I actually bought this off of eBay because they didn't have much of this player at the show, and that is Dak Prescott. And here's the interesting thing, because not only is it a 9.5, it is a rarer card. This is actually a blue wave Dak Prescott, where there are 149 total in existence, 18 of which are in BGS 9.5, 1 in BGS 10, 30 in PSA 10. And what I like is the fact that it's actually a good looking card. It's not one of those green or orange parallels where the blue and the silver don't really match well. This is actually a good looking card. It's a nice variation compared to the silver. And I don't know about cracking this, because look at these grades: 9.5, 9.5, 10, and a 10. And I don't know the percentages of this becoming a PSA 10. I'd like to know in the comment section. So please, if you have some background doing that or experience, let me know. But I also thought that was a good selling point to sell to someone else who is more experienced, that would pay more. Because when I was looking up all the sales on Market Movers of the complimentary cards, it was all over the place because this is not a common card to find. But I ended up paying $690 for it, and I feel like if this becomes a 10, it could easily be a $1,800 card, $1,500, $1,800. But even as a BGS 9.5 with these subgrades at the right time, I would hope this would be a $1,000 card for sure. Oh yeah, the other thing with Dak Prescott that really intrigues me is that, for one, he's coming off an injury, but I think he's very likable and people are rooting for him. He also plays for Dallas, which means that they have a huge market and they get a lot more attention than they perhaps deserve. But also, and here's the big thing that, actually there's two things. Number one, they open the season against my Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Thursday night, which is the first football game of the year and the only football game on Thursday. So it's not like there's 12 other games for people to watch. This will be the one game. If Dak and the Cowboys actually win, which I hope they don't, that could really see a bump in his prices. But if they lose, it would be expected. And the last thing I'll consider, or I want to share with you about the Cowboys, is that they actually have the second easiest schedule according to the last year's records of different teams. So they do have an easy schedule after getting their ass kicked by my Buccaneers week 1. Moving on, and this is my most expensive card that I've shared with you so far. This is that Derek Jeter BGS 9, and I remember getting this Only because when I was looking at what had dropped the most over the last 60 days, Derek Jeter's rookie card popped up, and not knowing anything about baseball, but knowing that he's a legend, he's a likable guy, he's tied to the Yankees and championships and all these things, I was like, okay, I feel safe in the player, Derek Jeter, but why a BGS 9? Because I'm not a BGS 9 type of guy. If anything, it'd be a 9.5, but a BGS 9 does not sound very liquid. So when I looked this card up compared to a PSA 9, I saw that a PSA 9 was selling for about 4 to 5 times the price of a BGS 9 for most of last year. But when prices shot through the roof, the PSA 9 started selling for like 10 times the price, like 8 to 10 times the price. And so when that happened, I figured like either the PSA 9 price is going to go down to match where it was before, that 4 to 5x, or the BGS 9 is going to go up and get closer to that PSA 9 value. And if you take a look at the last couple of sales, the PSA 9 has actually dropped in price. So now it's getting closer to that 4 to 5x multiplier. But I still feel good about this card overall. I paid $2,025 for it. So there was one sale that went for like $1,600 or so, but the others have been around $2,000. And this right here is not a card I bought. This is actually a gift, and I can't share too much about it, but it's a beautiful card, Justin Herbert Panini Illusions. And this was sent to me, sent to my P.O. box as a gift. There is something special written on the slab, and that will be revealed to you in due time. So I can't tell you who it's from or what is on the slab. You can speculate as much as you want, but it's a beautiful card. And obviously I really hope Justin Herbert has a great year now, because if not, then it's just sentimental value, but I'd like it to actually have real value as well. So very cool, awesome, very appreciative of the gift, and the details will come out in the near future. And that takes me to my final stack, where I have 8 of these rookie cards of a player I expect to see back in the Super Bowl, and that is Patrick Mahomes in a PSA 8. Okay, lot to cover here, but I got 8 of these PSA 8 Patrick Mahomes rookie cards, and there are a lot of reasons behind it. So let me rattle them off. Number one, I like the price point that I paid, but I also like being in the price point where a lot of people can afford a great card. And that is, these were about $950 each on average, maybe like $975 on average. And I thought, well, that means a lot more people can buy the card if I'm selling for $1,200, $1,300, $1,500, something like that, versus PSA 9 or PSA 10, where if I sell at a profit, I might be at $3,000 for a 9 and $10,000 or $15,000 for a 10. But the other thing too is that these were selling for less than the raw card. So a lot of the raw cards on eBay were selling for a couple $100 more than the 8, even though I bet most of the cards on eBay would come back as 7s or 8s, and very few of them would be 9s, and I bet hardly any would come back as 10s. But if you also look at the visual of it, this is a 2017 base, but the prism, the silver is actually the base, which makes it a good looking card versus all of these base prisms that they make now, which look like freaking Chipotle burrito wrappers. They look so plain, but at least you got a really good looking rookie card as the base, and you don't have to get a rare parallel. So I'm loving the price point. I like what I paid. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is a very easy buy at the right price. And the only downfall I see is that the PSA 8 pop report will just continue to grow, because that should be a very easy grade with all the raw cards that are out on eBay and are at PSA right now. So I don't see that getting, I see that getting bigger and bigger, but it's just a very liquid card. And I think for him, I don't see, look, you have no idea what grade it is. I put my thumb over there and all of a sudden, beautiful card, Patrick Mahomes. That's all you need to know. If you haven't already pounded that like button, please do that now. And let me know which one of my pickups interest you the most or intrigue you the most in the comment section below. I love seeing all of your comments. And if you've not already seen my video as to how I process deals and how I find deals based on my own psyche and my own methodology, check out this video up here and I'll see you over there.